Welcome to the lower secondary mathematics course. My name is Mr. Luyens and I will help you go through this course and make you feel comfortable with all the topics we are going to cover. So mathematics is a tool. It's not a subject as such. It's a tool that is used in different subjects. So we can think about physics, sciences, also business or economics, in construction, a lot of geometry in construction, but also a lot of numbers, measurements, but also in other subjects like art, things you wouldn't think of, art with symmetry. I would even say law, as you are going to to number laws and classify them. So anything where you classify or order and where you use logic and a chronological classification of things will involve some math. So I think math should not be a subject as such. It should be the tool we use in these different other subjects, and actually the math teacher should basically come to the subject and help the students to solve problems when they got problems in one of these different subjects or even other subjects. One of the things that people don't realize is that we do math all the time. Our brain is constantly doing math, well, simply because even since we are very small, we do counting. We add things as soon as we start playing with our toys. As small kids, we start to count. We also do pattern recognition. Basically, looking at our parents and recognizing their faces is doing geometry and doing math as pattern recognition. We also will do a lot of symmetry without even thinking about it. These are like natural skills that we have or we develop, and this is basically also math skills that we use. Balance is also something that involves math. It's related to symmetry, so when you're riding a bicycle, you're basically doing math without knowing it. And one of the best examples of unconscious math, or well, actually you're doing the math but you don't really realize that you're doing it, is crossing the street. And this is the best way also to convince people that they are actually quite good at math, even if many students think that it's not their cup of tea, is that when you cross a street and a car is coming, so you're here and you want to cross the street, you will calculate and know if you will be run over or not, depending on the speed of the car. So basically what you do, and you do this without thinking, is when you are about to cross, you're going to look first time at the car. And then without knowing, you're not going to look at it, or you're going to look a second time. And so between these two moments, these two pictures you take, you will have a change in position of the car, which basically tells you the distance, the number of meters that the car has moved. And your brain is actually quite good at telling the time or counting the seconds. So you will not have a definitive number, but you will have an estimation of the time. So you will have indeed also the time between these two pictures. And what you are going to do is basically calculating the speed using the physics formula that speed is distance over time, yeah? Meters per second or kilometers per hour, but in this case it will be more meters per second. So basically, by doing so, you know the speed of the car, and you know, yes, I have time to cross, or I better wait here that the car goes by, and then I can cross safely. So you are doing this. You are doing a calculation in your brain without knowing it. And so that is why mathematics is something that is natural to us. You shouldn't be scared of it. You should be completely convinced that you are good at math, because otherwise you would have been run over by a car a few times already. Um, the, the only issue or barrier of math is the symbolism. Once we introduce the x's and the squares and all the vocabulary that goes with math, that is where things seems to become more difficult, but actually they aren't, and that's what we are going to see together this year.